Welcome to Britain's favourite Sunday sermon. Well, last week I talked about the Home Office Select Committee and the civil servants' refusal to answer basic questions. Well, this week the story has continued. And one thing is for certain, in any walk of life, money does not buy happiness. The other thing it appears that money does not buy is the ability to stop the boats, to act as a deterrent. Because as every week and month goes by, the cost goes up, and it's extraordinary. We know, don't we, that the government signed off some £500 million to our friends in France to help stop the boats. How's that going? It's mid-December. Some 30,000 have crossed the English Channel this year. So that 500 million not really doing a great job. And now we hear that the money that's been sent to Rwanda in order to help act as a deterrent, if we were possibly to ever send migrants to Rwanda, we thought it was 140 million. And the Home Office wouldn't tell us if there was a few more millions perhaps. Now we discover that last April, some 8 months ago, we agreed to pay another 100 million. So that's 240 million. And there's another 50 million, it transpires, due to be paid sometime shortly. So that's 290 million. Call it 300 million amongst friends. 500 plus 300, that's 800 million pounds to stop the boats, to stop the migrants, and yet utterly useless. The boats keep coming, the migrants keep coming, and it's not a deterrent at all. It's the deceit of it. The Home Office civil servants tried to cover it up. The new Home Secretary, James Cleverly, he wasn't honest with us this week in the press conference, was he, about the cost? He said there was no extra cost demanded for signing the new treaty. He was being seriously disingenuous. He really wasn't telling us the reality, was he? The truth is, the cost keeps going up. Politicians, civil servants, they're acting with a complete, callous disregard for our money. Now the Prime Minister tells us he's got the toughest bill ever in order to stop the boats, to act as a deterrent. But it's been quite a week, because we've also heard from GB News' exclusive interviews with migrants in northern France that this whole thing is a complete, not only waste of money, but a complete waste of time, because it's not a deterrent at all. They view it as a laughingstock. It's like a comedy show. Frankly, it is like a comedy show. It's truly hopeless. If they don't view it as a deterrent, the whole thing is a complete waste of time, money, and effort. Why not use that time, that money, and the brains that's been employed so far, the legal brains, on actually getting through the backlog, making rapid decisions, focusing on deporting people who don't get accepted? Maybe that's a better use of our time and money. Because at the moment, we're in the worst of all worlds. No sign of any end whatsoever. And it's leading to complete civil war within the governing party. And a complete loss of confidence by ordinary folk up and down the country who are furious at what's happening to our communities and everything around us, whilst this just goes on and on. It'll only stop when someone has the courage to do what Australia did. You can't buy happiness. You can't buy your way out of the migrant crisis. You have to have courage. You have to have political will. You have to have leadership. You have to pick up the people out of the boats and safely return them to France, as we are legally entitled to do under international treaties. When someone does that, then this crisis stops. Not only here, but in the Mediterranean. And when someone does that, people stop dying. Let's be absolutely clear. Money doesn't buy happiness. Money's not stopping the migrants. In fact, money's making the migrant crisis even worse. It's got to stop. People are absolutely furious. And yet at the moment, politicians, civil servants, completely callous disregard of our money and our views. I'm afraid it's not good news, no end in sight. But with that, here endeth my Sunday sermon.